Hello everyone, back tuning in to today's first video, doing weekend forecast for today's first video. As always on a Saturday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for the week ahead. We're starting off cold and wet across England and Wales, something that we haven't been able to say for quite a long time actually, but this is not setting the scene for the weekend. Actually, weekend will see a resumption of the lingering summer really, with a lot of dry and warm weather to come. Will be very wet though across the far west of Scotland. We're talking about alarming amounts of rain possible in the far west and southwest of Scotland, possibly up to 200 millimetres from tomorrow through to Tuesday, so copious amounts of rain potentially up there, but other parts of the country will have a mainly dry week, and temperatures after a chilly start will become warm or possibly even very warm once again. So still no real sign of a definitive move into autumn. Very late now for autumn to get started, or properly started. We have had, like today, little episodes of autumnal weather, but not sustained, not true, a true move into autumn. And for at least a week to come anyway, we're going to be fending that off as well. So I'll go through everything that's going on in weekend in a moment, just to say that coming up later on today, we'll be having a look at the weather for next week to 10 days with the GFS, the ECM, and the GEM to bring you up to date with what's happening in the tropical Atlantic as well. So that'll be with you this afternoon on the homepage. The websites we're using for the weekend forecast are coming from the weatheroutlook.com and westcentral.de. You can find links to both the websites on the links page. We're going to start with the radar picture from Weather Outlook. So for northern Britain, it's not too bad at all. Scotland, a few showers draped around these northern and western coasts. 1 or 2 showers for Northern Ireland too. Some showers running down the Irish Sea. But to be honest, much of the north and west is dry. But then we've got this swathe of heavy rain here from sort of Lincolnshire going down into much of the Midlands, central southern England. It has been pouring with rain across many parts of Wales and southwestern England this morning, but that rain is beginning to clear now from the west. It hasn't yet arrived across parts of East Anglia and South East England, but it will do so through the course of this afternoon. You see some very bright echoes in there. If we zoom in a bit, you can see there are some really quite heavy outbreaks of rain, particularly down here in the south. Very wet at the moment around sort of Southampton, Winchester, Salisbury, and going up towards Oxford. It's beginning to turn a little bit lighter through parts of the Midlands now. But it has been a very wet morning, and not only wet, but also pretty cold as well. If I just show you the temperature overlay with this, you can see it has been very, very chilly through this morning across these southern parts of the country. The Midlands, Birmingham, for example, just 7 degrees, and going down into the South of England, where we've got those heavy outbreaks of rain, just 8 or 9 degrees as well. Still up to 15 in the extreme southeast, but the temperatures will be falling there through the course of this afternoon. Here's today's starting pressure chart. So we've had a weather front with us for a couple of days. It has up to now been quite a weak feature, but it's developed a wave along it, and that's brought this pulse of heavy rain. As it clears to the southeast, it's pulling down colder air from the north as this ridge topples in on its backside. So we'll see outbreaks of heavy rain continuing through parts of the Midlands into Lincolnshire and East Anglia through the early part of the afternoon, and then that rain will move increasingly through East Anglia into southeastern England in the second half of the afternoon, as clearer weather starts to push in towards Wales and Midlands and southwest England. Northern England, Scotland and Northern Ireland, a lot of dry weather, sunny spells, but there are those showers that we're seeing draped around those northern and western facing coasts. It's a cold day, as we've already established. Temperatures under this persistent rain only 7 or 8 degrees. Generally, temperatures will range from 8 to 12, but in the far southeast, we're still hanging on to reasonably warm air, but not for much longer. Overnight tonight, this ridge topples in across the country, so we'll take that rain away from East Anglia and South East England through the first part of the night. There's going to be a mainly dry night for most of us with long clear spells, and be a cold night too, with temperatures going widely down to low single digits, so sort of 2-3 degrees quite widely across the country will be low enough for fairly widespread ground frost, even touches of air frost with temperatures very close to freezing in some rural areas, places like the North Midlands up towards northern England. Don't rule out an air frost there. But by the end of the night, the next weather system will be bringing cloud and outbreaks of rain into the far west of Scotland. And as cloud spreads across Scotland, temperatures will rise, I think, through the course of the second half of the night as the wind freshens up as well. So we're through to Sunday, and it's going to be very typical of how we start next week too. We've got high pressure ridging in across England and Wales, but we've got low pressure up to the north of Scotland. And there is an active weather front that gets stuck across western parts of Scotland. And this will bring a conveyor belt of rain, just a continuous massive rain into western Scotland. At times the rain will be reasonably light, but at times the rain will be very heavy. And this rain will stretch out into the middle part of the Atlantic Ocean. In fact, I can show you the precipitation forecast here. And you can see how far out into the Atlantic Ocean this continuous ribbon of rain is stretching right way back into, actually goes back towards Tropical Storm Leslie in the central part of the Atlantic. That's the remains of Tropical Storm Leslie. Just there you can see there is kind of like a connection between this front. It's going all the way back into the Atlantic and then tying in to the remains of Tropical Storm Leslie. So the upshot is from Sunday through to Tuesday, it's going to be copiously wet across western Scotland. So western Scotland will have a very wet day on Sunday with outbreaks of rain just continuing to pile in from off the Atlantic Ocean. Some of that rain will get down to Northern Ireland, but I think for much of Northern Ireland actually staying dry through the course of Sunday. And on the eastern side of Scotland, most of this rain will break up. So it's on the western side of the hills and mountains, if you like, over on the east side of Scotland. Yes, there could be some little bits and pieces of rain coming through tomorrow, but not all that much. Probably quite cloudy, though. You see, tightly packed ice bar, so it will be windy in the north. But across England and Wales, plenty of sunny spells, a complete reversal in fortunes compared to today. Temperatures in the south could be up to around 15 degrees tomorrow. That's 59 Fahrenheit. Certainly feeling a lot more like it compared to today's cold temperatures. In the north, around 10 degrees. Generally quite a cool day coming up. That's Monday, and again we've got this weather front still there across the west of Scotland, so more heavy outbreaks of rain just continuously piling onto that western side of Scotland, also possibly getting down into southwest of Scotland too, across central, eastern and northern parts of Scotland. There the rain will be lighter and patchy. In fact, many parts of eastern Scotland could stay dry. Northern Ireland, we might fringe this rain in at times, but reasonable amount of dry weather there. And then for England and Wales, again, lots of dry fine conditions with sunny spells and variable cloud. Notice it's windy in the north, winds are light in the south. We may have mist and fog patches to begin with across England and Wales on Monday morning, but they should burn off if they do form. Mist and fog always very uncertain at this time of the year. We don't get as much fog now as we used to, say 20, 30 years ago. So this time of year when you've got high pressure around, you never know really whether you're going to fog that high pressure up. Tends not to happen as much as it did years ago. But if the circumstances are right, you can still get quite dense patches of fog at this time of year. So that would just be something to watch out for through much of the week, actually, as high pressure takes over. Temperatures on Monday going to be quite a bit warmer down in the south, up to around 17 degrees. That's around 63 Fahrenheit. Fairly mild in the north, but it won't feel so under that cloud and rain. Going through to Tuesday, the front, I'm afraid it's still there across the west, southwest of Scotland, so more heavy outbreaks of rain coming through there, gradually beginning to move northwards and westwards through the course of the day. You'll notice for England and Wales, we're under high pressure, so again, have a lot of dry weather with brighter sunny spells and variable cloud. There may be dense fog patches early and late. That's a bit of an unknown at the moment. Temperatures lifting up, possibly getting close around 20 degrees in the southeast on Tuesday afternoon, 68 Fahrenheit. After that, we move that weather front away finally from west of Scotland. So we'll take those outbreaks of rain and move them out into the Atlantic Ocean. On Wednesday, high pressure is sitting to our east with low pressure out to west. We're bringing up this southerly wind. So Wednesday looks a universally dry day. There'll be plenty of sunny spells. Again, we might have some fog patches early and late to contend with. But the air is getting ever warmer, so I think we're up to around 21, maybe 22 degrees down in the south on Wednesday afternoon. That's a very summer-like 70 to 72 Fahrenheit. Could be a universally dry day across the whole country on Wednesday. Very similar situation on Thursday, with high pressure to our east across much of northern Europe, low pressure in the Atlantic. The only difference is that we are edging a weather front in from off the Atlantic and tightening the ice bar. So it'll be a windy day. I don't think we'll have any problems with fog on Thursday, but we may bring cloud and outbreaks of rain into Ireland, the far west of Wales and southwest England. Otherwise, loads of dry weather, plenty of sunny spells coming through. Winds will be fresher, but it's going to be a warm day. Temperatures again 22, maybe 23 degrees. Can't be ruled out. Somewhere like central London, 23 is 73 Fahrenheit. And that would be more like what you'd expect on the 11th of July rather than the 11th of October. And then we're through into Friday, and increasingly as we head towards next weekend, high pressure looks like it's taking over from the east as these areas of low pressure are pushed back out into the Atlantic. We might bring a band of cloud and showery rain across the country from west to east overnight, Thursday into Friday. So Friday could start sort of cloudy, dampish across the country. But much of that will burn away, break up, and we'll have sunny spells coming through. Quite a windy day for Scotland and Northern Ireland with that long fetch southwesterly wind, and just not quite as warm, but even so, temperatures well above average at around sort of 12 to 20 degrees Celsius. And then next weekend, high pressure looks like it's building in from the east. So high pressure winning this battle, and how often have we been saying that since May? High pressure builds in from the east, so next weekend could have a lot of dry weather, mainly dry conditions. Winds from a southerly to southeasterly direction, bringing up very warm air out of the Mediterranean. So if the situation is right, with long sunny spells, southeasterly winds, we may be able to get temperatures up to mid-20s Celsius next weekend. That's around 25 Celsius, 77 Fahrenheit. Exceptionally warm for the middle of October. It will depend greatly on how much sunshine there is and that kind of thing. The exact parameters, we won't know that till much nearer a time. But it could be a very warm sort of late summer barbecue weekend coming up next weekend. We'll keep you posted on that. Finally, just having a look at charts from our outlook. So wet and cold across England and Wales today. Brighter with showers in the north. Things switch around tomorrow, so England and Wales will be mainly dry with sunny spells, but Scotland and Northern Ireland will have cloud and outbreaks of rain, particularly for Western Scotland. And then Monday and Tuesday, this doesn't show the wet weather across Western Scotland, but I think there will be heavy rain continuously piling in to the west and southwest of Scotland from Sunday to Tuesday. But over 3 days, we could possibly see up to 200 millimetres of rain for the Western Isles of Scotland. But the bulk of the country will actually be dry with increasingly warm spells of sunshine. That's Wednesday, mainly dry across the whole country by then. That rain across West Scotland will be moved away, and we'll have a very warm day with sunny spells. And then, as we go into the second half of the week, still mainly dry, emphasis is on dry weather. There will be rain at times in the west, and maybe not quite as much sunshine. Temperatures just lowering down ever so slightly, but still overall much warmer than average for the time of year. So, in summary, we're starting cold and wet today, but it's not going to be typical of the week ahead. Actually, loads of dry weather coming up in the week ahead, away from Western Scotland, where it could be exceptionally wet Sunday to Tuesday, but the bulk of the country will be very dry in the week ahead. And after a chilly start, temperatures will become increasingly warm. In fact, we may have an Indian summer by next weekend. Come back this afternoon when we'll talk you through the other computer models for the next week to 10 days. Bring you up to date with what's happening in the tropical Atlantic as well. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.